Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Give me like 2 seconds. All right. Okay, let me start. Okay. I will be trying to solve this game. I might be unsuccessful. I will hopefully be successful, but definitely not getting everything right at that baseline. I did prepare a list of every single red truth that's been said in the game so far. I've compiled it. I have a list. I have a list of things that I want to solve, which I'll read out in a second, and or like attempt to solve. And I also did not write down, but I probably will be going back and watching a few important scenes that I need to watch that I might have forgotten about, like Ava discovering how to get to the epitaph. Um, yeah, what the solution to that is, or for example, Angie discovering whatever that was in front of her. Right. I just looking for context clues, like small things like that. Right. Um. Now I need to check if I forgot anything. So I'm gonna be trying to solve Witch's epitaph and location of the gold, for the entirety of the magic system. What Angie saw, what Battler's sin is, the dual Battler dilemma. If you know, you know. The solutions and culprits. Maybe not culprits, but solutions of every locked room. I don't know how I'd narrow down the culprits fully. I need to look at the red truth again. I don't know if it points to it or not. Yeah, and smaller mysteries like Beatrice's bottled letters, the money mailed, why Shannon and other characters remember events, the sequence of numbers, 0715, blah blah blah, and the missing rows. I might have forgotten something, but I want to try and solve everything, even if I don't get. All right, all right. Okay, let me. I should probably start with what Angie saw. Most definitely. And then go into the magic system. And after that, probably start working on locked rooms, which will probably take the majority of the stream's time. There's so much red truths that I have to go over. Actually, let me pull up the NG scene. I want to look at it before I start talking about anything about that because I want to make sure that I haven't missed any context. Okay, I found it here. Okay, I'm just gonna watch the entire scene. Or let me pull it up on stream. That's probably better. Okay, here. I forgot to set up the browser game capture. Okay, there you go. And yes, I'm using Opera. Don't worry about it. No, and I can't fast. How do I fast forward? I guess I'll just click. This is 47:55. We don't have. Okay, here it is. And we have zero clue how Angie ends up dying in 1988. Because she dies on the witch's side, but no clue what happens on her side. Huh. This is really interesting. Okay, finally, a non-useless Angie scene. Well, it's not. None of them are useless, but just like finally one that gives obvious hints. I don't remember what was said other than I see something and something about a podium or something along those lines. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. Okay. And it's been cut out. What? Just say it. Just say it. This is pissing me off. Even rewatching this. See, display case. Okay. Nobody talks this cryptically. Okay, my only possible idea for this is the rose. I Are we serious? Have no idea what this could be. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like they talked about a podium. Apparently, that's the only possible clue we have in that scene, specifically towards what Angie saw. But I don't know. Now the biggest question is whether or not that is actually magic or not. Like that's obviously the biggest question, whether or not what Angie saw was magic or related. I might come back to this because I genuinely don't have a clue. My guess is the rose with the receipt or whatever, or gold silk. I forgot what it was from one of the chapters. Because it was probably written in Maria's diary. And that's why Angie knows about it. Oh, we're talking about what Angie saw. And so, like, my only theory is that it's possibly the rose that disappeared from the first or third chapter. Or I don't remember which what episode it was from. My guess is the rose. The biggest thing though is whether or not what she saw was magic related or whether it's yeah. I don't know where to even start trying to solve what she saw because we only have the clue from that scene of it's some sort of podium. And then Angie talks about it's just fate. It's my fate being here. Is it a miracle? Is this magic? I might come back to it. Because the reason she'd recognize it is if she saw the receipt or. Well, yeah. I know Bro, I've heard that. Okay. With love, it can be seen in quotes. Sorry, in stars. Well, yeah, obviously. I Okay. Let me just open up Spain. Okay. Okay, that is terrible resolution. Okay. Rose. Whoa. What even else could it have been? Something Ava related? I am tweaking out on the first question already. With love, it can be seen. Well, yeah, I know I don't fully know if it's Angie interpreting an item differently and like, oh, is this magic? Or if Angie's the only person who can see it. I'm guessing it's just Angie's the only person who can see it. That would make the most sense. Because they mentioned, oh, with love it can be seen. Oh, and you. Seen specifically. So without love, whatever Angie is seeing cannot be seen. I have zero clue what they're talking about, though. Like, what it could possibly be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I can see it too. I'm gonna play back the. This is making me tweak out. So the one, probably the most thing that I had zero, absolutely no clue on. Like, no idea how I even start here. Like, yes, I know with love it can be seen. I have no idea what that means. Okay. I'm watching. Can she see the VN text? Yeah, it's been cut out. Okay, maybe. I won't really ask for your hints for anything else. I have zero clue where to stop. Yeah. Maybe do something for this, for the row specifically. Sorry, not for what Angie saw. Okay, let me just talk about what I think the magic system is, and maybe I get something from that. So my idea of the magic system, quote unquote, is something to do with belief and yeah, I think the basis of magic is just pure and utter belief in the ability for it to work or something along those lines. Therefore, it happens. Kind of in Kinzo's case, where because he believes in magic so much, he's able to manifest miracles. Biggest piece of evidence that back myself up here is in the Angie scene near the end of chapter 4, where she talks about where she's meeting up with Kyrie's sister. What she does end up saying is that, like, oh, magic isn't real. And through implications of loser flags. I don't want to talk about loser flags. I can't tell if that scene was actually meant to be seriously implying something for the UMINEKO magic system or whether or not that was a gag. Like, genuinely. Like, my assumption was that it was a gag, so I didn't really take too much of that into when I was thinking about the magic system. I I don't know. I guess loser flags could have to do with belief. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna ignore loser flags for now. For now, I don't know if that was meant to be serious. What I was saying? Oh, magic system. Yes. So belief is what manifests magic. One of my main full belief in no, it'll work 100%. Ava's gun blew up. And so my theory is how magic works, or maybe that's only one of the systems of magic, right? Because there's two different systems of magic, like Western and Eastern. I don't know if that's the case. I'm guessing there's only one magic system, but if there isn't, then I could be wrong in assuming that that's the only way magic works. Yeah. So magic is belief is my running theory. I have no idea how I'm going to explain that very last scene with Angie and Beatrice. I'm actually going to look at the red text right now. I'll see if I can pull it up. Did I put it in? Which one did I put it in? Hold up. Let me pull my things up. Okay. Here, I got it. Fourth game. I'll pull it up on stream. In the middle here, fourth game. This is one of my separate notepads that I had no idea where to slot the red truth in. But this is the exact quote right here. It's my golden land, a world where magic that isn't mine cannot exist. This is my golden land. Yeah, same thing. Interesting is that and my magic, and my specifically is white, while magic was not able to revive Sakataro is red. But this specifically, like my magic wasn't able to revive Sakataro, basically implying that no, magic wasn't able to, and specifically, wait, yeah, wasn't able to revive Sakataro. I wonder what this cutoff is. When they're talking about, oh, I didn't cut. I did not cut. Here, you guys can see it. Sorry, you guys can see the text now, like in the center here. This is a specific line that I'm mulling over. Like, what are the implications of this? This is a special stuffed animal made by Rosa for her daughter's birthday. In the entire world, only one exists. Right? That's the logical ending of that sentence. And yeah, she couldn't say one exists, confirming that there's more than one Sakataro in existence. Oh my gosh, is that what Angie saw? I don't know. Is that? I don't know. Okay. No, because you're technically able to solve what she saw without seeing that scene from prior scenes, so that we even need to know if there's a second one. I guess it makes sense why Sakataro was revived then here. It's that. Huh. I am stumped on this specific line of question. Well, I'll come back to this, genuinely. Let me... May have given hints. Okay. Yeah, maybe Sakataro. Second Sakataro plus what she saw. I'll add that. I wonder how it's supposed to imply that Sakataro exists, though. Huh. I don't know how you'd solve that if it was Sakataro earlier. I don't want to think about that too much. I will come back to this. I'm going to mull over this too much. I want to talk about the dual Battler dilemma and the dual Beatrice dilemma and all the other things. Or, wait, that's really... Now that's been confirmed that there's only 17 people on this island, then where does Beatrice slot in? Right? If Kinzo wasn't on the island, then that makes sense. But if Beatrice appeared in the last scene, it's safe to say that that was just... Where does she fit into the 17? Because the 17 is everyone on the island except Kinzo. So it's safe to assume that the Beatrice that Battler saw and all the other magic is just Beatrice's influence, or Beatrice trying to show everyone else magic. Maybe. What is interesting, though, is now that we know that Kinzo is technically dead at the start of every game, I think it might be easier to reason out a few locked rooms, especially like the 6-room chain. What I was talking about with the dual Battler dilemma and the dual Beatrice dilemma, maybe I mentioned this on stream earlier, but I think it could be the possibility that there's the physical Battler and there's the meta outside the game board spiritual, whatever you want to call it, Battler. Same with Beatrice. There's a physical Beatrice that got murked by Rosa in episode 3, and then there's the spiritual magical witch version of Beatrice in whatever that purple space outside of the game board you want to call existing. So then it would make sense that there's two Battlers. There's one, the Ushiromiya Battler that was birthed from Osamu, and then 2, there's the second Ushiromiya Battler that is talking to Beatrice outside of the realm, that is physically talking to was born from Ushiromiya Battler being like a second half in another world, right? And so that makes sense when Battler is saying, oh, you, the specific otherworldly Battler, was not born from Osamu. You were born from Battler. but the battler that was born from Masamu is in the physical real world. If that line of logic tracks, that could be the case. So technically, they aren't the same person. Although Beatrice refused to deny the fact that Battler wasn't Rudolph's son. And where is it? In at some point when Angie's going on her sad rant about Battler, and then she gets killed by red hot pincers. She ends up doing this whole speech. Okay, let me pull it up. Oh, it's already pulled up. Great. Here, this is what Battler says. Angie is my little sister. I don't know if in red. I don't know if this is meant to be taken literally, but this could potentially show that Battler was from Rudolph and Kyrie instead of Osamu. That would track. So I think I have two different variations of explanations for why there's two battlers. I don't know which one's right. I don't know if either of them are right, but one or the other is plausible and is somewhat narratively satisfying for me for now. Okay, I want to rewatch the scene with Angie again, seeing Sakataro's reaction. Please tell me. Nobody talks this cryptically. Yeah, they haven't been talking about. Nobody talks this cryptically. The display case could be of Sakatara. Assuming the case is the second Sakatara. Okay, yeah, I got no new information from that. Completely. Sakatara's oh, I forgot to cut the scene again. Whoops. But Sakatara was talking about the whole shtick of like, oh, is this magic? Is this a miracle? There's nothing really specific that could be traced to him reacting to himself. I don't know what scenes I'd watch back to see what hint toward it, what Angie saw being potentially Sakataro. Because I don't know. It is weird that Sakataro can't be existent in other places, like with Maria, with Beatrice, but Sakataro does exist with Angie before she even sees the plush. And so that could imply that, oh no, yeah, Sakataro does have a second vessel somewhere. Probably created by Rosa. which is interesting to me. Okay. I have zero, absolutely no clue where I even start with Battler's Sin. Like, no clue, absolutely no clue. I don't think I saved the red for Battler's Sin. Is the only scene that I don't think I saved. Um, Rewatch and see what. I can just pull up the red here. I have the red, or is there something specific in the scene that you want me to watch? That might hint towards anything. I don't know. Here, let me pull up the red. Yeah, here. Okay. Um, if I quote unquote here. It's so cryptic how they keep on talking about it. Because no person called Beatrice existed for Battler. Huh. This is very, very, very important to what happens in the story. I genuinely have no clue where to even start. My two biggest pet peeves when I'm trying to solve anything and playback things in my head about this game are I have no idea what Angie saw, which is starting to be mitigated slightly, and I have absolutely no clue what Battler's Sin is. I don't even know where to begin when talking about this. Is there something maybe in the scene? Oh, thanks for the follow, Frogger. Very cool. I didn't see for a while. I'm kind of freaking out about this specific piece. I don't. Okay, Beatrice says here it doesn't mean you carried it out directly. However, because you committed a sin. The sin isn't him leaving the registry, right? That's separate. It's a separate thing, right? Yeah, Beatrice states he has another sin. You're right. He did say that. Doesn't remember what it is. No, that's not, that's so stupid. He doesn't remember what his sin is. Then the original sin that they're talking about isn't a sin. Okay. Uh. Yeah, no clue. Moving. I'll come back to this. This is the one thing that I just no. I don't even want to start right now. Okay. I guess we can just start going by the locked rooms, like one by one. I don't know if I'll be able to narrow down the culprits fully, because from what I'm seeing, the red doesn't point to one specific culprit. There are implied culprits, but there's no specific, oh, okay, this is the one where it all clicks together. But I think I will be able to solve a few locked rooms specifically, right? Yo, I don't know what's, but yeah, him leaving the registry is separate. Yeah, yeah. Bro, I'll come back to this. I'm gonna mull over this for another hour. I actually have to get to solving the locked rooms, so. Okay, let me pull up. Okay, here. Let's go chapter by chapter. Here, episode 1. No, that's not it. Nope. I didn't mean to do that. I just why isn't it working like this? Okay, let me close the and reopen it. Okay, here. Now I should be able to pull up my, yeah, there you go. Okay, now if I, okay. Here, this is Red Truth that I compiled. I'm just gonna put it like at the bottom somewhere here. So if we go to the very top, I have summaries. I have what Twilight it is, the victims, and summaries that I found under it. And then separate, we have read about those murders under divided by lines. And I have it for every single event in chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Although there is very few red lines in episode 1 that I can pinpoint. Okay, so let's start. Obviously, this isn't countered by Lambda in the at the end, but simply anyone who had an alibi who didn't have an alibi could have just closed the lock and then put it back in the servant room. I don't know where the caveat is there fully. It's strange that they'd put the key back, but it's not impossible. My suspect for who the murder here is once again Ava and Hideyoshi. They were the only ones that weren't affected by this. They didn't have an alibi, from what I remember. They themselves were the only alibis that they had. From what I'm remembering, yeah, because Ava and Hideyoshi left early during the family conference of that day. I don't get the behavior to make it a locked room, though. That's really stupid, and why they would do it, of all people. Interesting. Okay, this is probably the locked room that I need to talk about the least. It's not even fully a locked room. It's really easy to be solved if you just assume the key was put back. Genuinely don't know where the caveat is there. Okay, Ava Hideyoshi. I'm gonna talk about this for a while. Okay, let me pull up, or let me do like this. This was the diagram that I remember was painted. That's what I'm saying. It could be a separate murder. Like, I don't think it's the case, but it could be to some extent a chain from, like, spoilers for iSomnium files, but to some extent it could be like a chain of murders where, like, one person kills the other, and then another person kills that person, then that another person kills that person. It's like a chain. I don't know how that would work out here, but it could be assumed that Ava and Hideyoshi killed the first 6, and then someone else went and killed them, and maybe not in a chain way, but then Ava and Hideyoshi killed the first 6, and then that person which I want to call X, but was disproven. Okay, let me pull up general truths. This is stuff that Beaters were talking about. I want to talk about Kinzo before I go into any of the next few locked rooms, because I'm generally stumped with how some of the locked rooms couldn't have been done without another person, like Natsuki's murder, like Nanjo's murder. Well, Nanjo, it's my theory hasn't been disproven yet, and Battler even said it. It was that someone of the dead was actually alive, but then went and died, and their status was confirmed afterwards. So it wasn't disproven that the dead couldn't have killed. It's just someone that we thought to be dead. Oh my god, voice crack. Someone that we thought to be dead wasn't dead. And then they went and killed Nanjo and got themselves killed somehow. Homicide, suicide, doesn't matter. Okay, back on topic. I'm already getting off track. Okay. So, let me do... Didn't mean to do that. Okay, this is the Kinzo statements. Kinzo's already dead. No more than 17 humans exist. So this is the entire family plus the servants. No Kinzo, no Beatrice, no other person. Those are the 17 humans, right? I think that is a safe assumption, because Kinzo was the only person who was distant from everyone and that we didn't see, and that was only confirmed after we saw his body, right? So that would track. Remembering Avon Hideyoshi's murder, right? Okay, let me finish my diagram. This is where the bed was. Ava was wearing her shoes, which is an important thing. It was also mentioned. I don't know why that she was wearing shoes. That's very strange. And then Hideyoshi was killed in the shower here. We know that the door could have been... Okay, this is way too far open. The door could have been opened just a tiny little bit. I think it was to stick your hand through. We remember Hideyoshi and Ava went to their rooms. Then everyone was together. Right? We saw the scene with them being inside. Okay, let me look at the red. Episode 1 red. Let me switch this. Okay, here, second Twilight. Ava and Hideyoshi's corpse were found in the guest room. Yeah, stakes, blah, 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 blah. This is the summary. Door had been found locked. Okay. Genji unlocked the door, but the chain was still on. Genji went to go get Nanjo Natsuki. Kanon went to get the wire cutters. Kanon and Kumasawa had returned for his found a magic circle paint on the door in a short span, about 5 minutes. Okay. Actually, I think I have a theory for what just happened. I don't know why Ava was wearing her shoes, but it could have been the case where Genji... Oh, okay, first of all, I want to talk about the magic circle that we saw on the door, right? So the magic circle that was on the door only appeared after Genji and Kanon left. Magic circles only appear after someone's murdered in the room. So it could track that by the time Genji and Kanon had shown up to the door, Ava and Hideyoshi had not been murdered yet. This tracks my theory. Okay, if Ava and Hideyoshi were then to... Sorry, Ava probably went to go and remove the chain from the door. The door was unlocked. They wouldn't have been dead by then. The chain was unlocked. And when Genji and Kanon left to go do their own things, Genji went to get everyone else. Kanon and Kumasawa went to get wire cutters. The culprit, who I will speculate about, I don't know too much, went to the room, killed Ava, killed Hideyoshi, went back. It doesn't say that the chain couldn't have been set up from the outside, because you could stick your hand in through the door, right? It hasn't been said in red. So the culprit killed Ava and Hideyoshi in the room. That tracks. Then he went outside, reapplied the chain because it hasn't been disproven, and then he just left. They left. I don't know if he, she, whoever, right? And so those two were dead when Genji and Kanon came back, right? Because, oh, now the magic circle is there. That means that they did die. I mean, is it confirmed that the Ava and Hideyoshi falls into... Okay, wait, who? Okay, let me pull up the locker room definition. I have it right here. Okay. The term closed room refers to a room. Okay, let me switch it. Refers to a room where inside and outside are completely cut off from each other. Are the two rooms cut off from each other? No, because it was said that you could stick your hand through the door. And it says, naturally, it will be impossible to affect things across that line. But that isn't the case. You can stick your hand through it. You can stick your hand through the door. Right? It's completely cut off. It's not completely cut off. That's the thing. They both... This is one of the only rooms where you can't apply a definition, technically. So my theory does track, where he went in the room, killed Ava and Hideyoshi, left, rechained the door, then Genji and Kanbei came back. Yeah, episode 1 locked rooms kind of suck. Well, most of them, because they're not really quote-unquote locked rooms. Right? So yeah. Here's running theory for Ava Hideyoshi. Seems to be not be disproven by any red so far. Probably correct. Killer. So Genji and Kanon unlocked the door. Then they left. Killer comes in, unchains the door. Oh, sorry, no. Ava, for some reason, unchains the door. Devil's proof. We don't know why. Probably just to let someone in and talk with them. Killer kills them, leaves, rechains the door from the outside, and voila, the door is still unlocked. Because that's how Genji and Kanon left it, and the chain is rechained, and the locked room works. That seems about right. Okay. Kanon. Oh boy, Kanon. So I think it's safe to assume that Kanon's murder was a homicide. Because it wasn't... wrong thing. Because it wasn't an accident and it wasn't a suicide. I don't know what else fits into that bill. Right? So it's safe to assume that it was a homicide. And then they throw this curveball. This is one of my least... Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so let's look at this thread. All the survivors have alibis. No kind of human or dead person could have killed Cannon. What? This is where the doctrine completely stumps me. It's like every single option has been thrown out. Because this is when we also discovered Kinzo's burnt corpse in the first episode, right? We see him, we go down to him. Because we feel the stench of his corpse burning. And he's dead at this time already, right? He doesn't commit suicide, which is my original assumption, and it's not an accident, which is my second assumption. And none of the survivors how do I get through this? Yeah, I know. This is like how oh, with or without solving something else prior. Okay, I'll leave it for now. That makes sense. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'll definitely keep it in the back of my mind. In the back of my mind. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll just go. Next. Genji Kumasawa Nanjo. Maria didn't kill them. Okay. Like, that would have been the obvious option, so makes sense. It couldn't have been any of the dead people. And wasn't them. Do they not have... Does everyone not have alibi? Because I remember Maria. Yeah, Maria, Nanjo, Kumasawa, Genji were outed. Or sorry, ousted from the study. Yeah, Kinzo study. Because... Oh, yeah, the letter was placed on the table. And they were the only people that could have placed it, quote unquote, right? So they all went downstairs. We got a call from Maria singing at the wall. And then we came in. And the only 4 other survivors were all in a room together until that happened. That's weird. So... Okay, let me read the summary. Maybe I'll remember something. Okay, they were found in the parlor. Yeah. By these Their faces had been destroyed. Room had been locked. Was opened by George with a servant's key. And we know for a fact. Oh, yeah, more major gaps in the red truth. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I've left it alone because there's there's really not much I can solve there without that being the case. So, huh. This is the problem I run into with the next two scenarios where everyone else that could have done the murder out of the 17, they were together at the time. Like, the only thing I can think of for this murder is somehow they were poisoned and then Maria didn't kill them. She just stuck the stakes in them after they died. That's the only possible solution I can think of. And so, yes, Maria locked the room and she stuck the stakes in, but she wasn't the one that killed them. It was one of the other four who poisoned them beforehand. Yeah. That's... It's tricky. Like, while I'm very confident, or like 80% confident that I am right with the Ava Hideyoshi room, I am not at all confident with the other episode 1 rooms. I think the episode 1 rooms are the most like well constructed ones. I think are the hardest to solve, probably. They were homicides. They didn't kill each other. Genji, they're not killers. No body double tricks. Do I want to go and look at the confirmed? Do I want to go and rewatch what happened before? Maybe. I'll put that on the back burner. Let me look at Natsuki's murder. Also, if I miss some important red that you know is red in the chat, Kudori and Grimson, just let me know, please. Because I think I got everything, but I might have missed something. Here, Natsuki's... Oh, wrong one. Natsuki's death was a homicide. All the survivors have alibis. Makes sense. The bullets buried into Natsuki's forehead was fired. It's not fired from her gun. Is oh boy. Oh, I open up different app. Whoops. My computer's lagged out. Okay, if I'm remembering, Ava was most definitely dead. Hideyoshi was most definitely dead. Then what came after? It was Cannon's murder, and he was most definitely dead. That Nanjo said that. So I was thinking maybe some... No, but then Beatrice did say that I might come back to episode 1. Both of these are just... It's way too confusing. The bullet buried into Natsuki's forehead was not fired from her gun. Yet when we came and saw Natsuki, her gun was smoking. We also didn't find out what the letter said that Natsuki read, which is just okay. Which is probably what caused the standoff to happen. Yeah, I'm stumped for episode 1. I don't know. I'll leave it alone for now. I might come back. Hey, let me pull up episode 2. Jesus. Okay, we finally get a lot of red for these events. So, let's reason through it. Okay, did I open it? I did open it. Okay, let me pull it up on stream. Is that Red Truth showing? No, that is... Is it not showing up? Did I close it by accident? I think I closed it. Why is it not showing up? This is actually so stupid. Okay, there you go. It's up. I didn't mean to do that. This is so stupid. It's just not reading it. I'm making a new window capture. Okay, here. And then... Oh my gosh, technical difficulties. I don't know what's wrong with this right now. This was working like 3 seconds ago. I could just like not pull it up. I'll just not pull it up for now. Okay. Red Truths for episode 2. Let's talk about the first case. Okay. I was like immediately, couldn't you just have resealed the envelope? It hasn't been denied that it wasn't resealed, but we got new red text that was from the time Maria received her key to the instant Rosa unsealed the envelope the next day, the key passed through no one's hands. So that kind of denied the fact that the key was reused. And then Battler went and said, oh, small bombs. That's definitely not true, but it was also confirmed that the 6 were dead. So, sorry, they got killed in the room instead of killed somewhere else and then carried into the room later, which doesn't change too much about the setup of the locked room, but is still somewhat important. The door was locked when Rosa got the key. She then unsealed the key, locked it. Now, here's the thing. Do we know? No, we do know. I was going to say, it could have been possible that the time Maria received the letter was after the family conference. So everyone died. Then the key was sealed, given to Maria. And then Rosa unsealed the key, opened the chapel door. But would not. Okay. Thank you. Okay, only one key to the chapel exists. Okay, there you go. Now it's showing it, but now it shows up. Okay. Okay. Well, I pulled it up. Here's the red truth I have. Only one key. It's impossible to unlock the lock with anything but the chapel's key. Okay, obvious setup. When the doors of the chapel is locked, you can't enter or exit. Makes sense. The 6 definitely entered through this front door. This morning, Rosa definitely took an envelope out of Maria's handbag. And that obtained, here, wait, the genuine key to the chapel. Okay, that tracks. That was set up. The key to the chapel truly was inside the envelope. Okay. The envelope that I handed over to Maria and the one Rosa opened are the same thing. Okay, makes sense. From the time Maria, received her key. It's weird that it says received her key instead of received her envelope. Oh my gosh, wait. This is the play. Is it saying that Maria received her key to like her room or something else? And then the instant Rose unsealed the envelope, it's separate. So it's not when Maria received the envelope, but it's when Rosa, but it's when she received the key to some other room. So the timeline still tracks that. Yes, it was unsealed and resealed from the time Maria received her key sometime during that day, which could have been when Maria received her key, could have been after the deaths were carried out and the envelope was resealed and given to her. Sorry, yeah. You guys understand. If this is just me reading too far into what it's saying, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just assume that's what it means. Because the wording choice here is very, very, very interesting. Don't concern yourself with the other runes right now. What do you fully mean? If I said something, I probably already forgot. I was too deep into thinking and what half things that are being said mean. The chapel is all that's important to the Twilight. Huh. Genuine question. Is me reading as Marie received her key and Rose unsealed the envelope just me reading too far into the wording, or is it repetition request? Because this is just a confirmation. Yes, as in I'm reading too far into it, or yes, as in I'm on the right track, or yes. I'm reading too deep. Okay, perfect. Okay. That's good to know. From the time she received her key to the instant Rosa unsealed the envelope, the key passed through no one's hands. What does the red not say though? Like it says that they were killed in the room by a physical person inside that room. Do I need to be thinking about other things about the chapel, like the text written above it, or anything else? Because I remember it saying like, I might need to pull up the exact quote, but something door opens 1 in a trillion. Is that important to this locked room? I would assume probably not. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, some facts. Great. I feel like this one's a lot more solvable than the other. Easier, quote unquote, to solve than the other ones. Okay, some facts. From the time. Other thing we can say is that maybe Rose is the one that unsealed and. Okay, yeah. It says that Rosa unsealed the envelope the next day. Okay, here. This is a theory, and I am. A lot of things are starting to fall into place if I take this line of questioning. From the very beginning, we see at the very dead of night that Rosa is together with the other 6, right? She's there. She's together with the other 6 in the chapel. That's when they all say, "Oh yeah, I believe in you, Beatrice." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. She does not mention herself being with the other 6. If we assume Rosa is the one that killed the first 6 in episode 2, a lot of things fall into place. The scene we saw where she unsealed the envelope could have been not her grabbing the key, but her unsealing the key to go and lock the chapel. Possibly. And or maybe she unsealed it, then locked the door, resealed it in Maria's, and then when she went with the servants, she came back, resealed again. So it would track that it says until Rosa unsealed the envelope the next day. That doesn't mean that she didn't then also reseal it again, or she then also didn't use the key the first time she unsealed the envelope. And so it tracks Rosa was with them the night. She killed them. She locked it whenever. Then she resealed it. Then when she was woken up by the servants, she went there, saw that the door was locked, quote unquote, playing, and then went back, unsealed the key again, and then locked the door, and then unlocked the door. Okay, repetition request. Is the scene where we see Rosa unseal the envelope her unsealing it for the first time? Or did Rosa unseal the envelope more than one time? Rosa unsealed the envelope more than one time. Repetition request. There you go. If you guys just say it in red, then my theory falls apart and I gotta start thinking again. But or say like Rosa did not reseal the envelope. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next room because that is my running theory. Because that seems to track like what I just said makes sense to some extent. Because I specifically remember Rosa being with the other 6 at night, and that was the thing, is like she didn't mention that ever, which should also track if she was the culprit of that scenario. You won't repeat that. I don't feel like it. Is that a... Okay, I forgot. We're repeating that Rosa was unsealed more than once. or that she unsealed only once, because I asked for both. I forgot already. I don't know. I just don't feel like I don't wanna. Did I possibly solve it? I don't know. This seems correct. Okay, maybe. Nothing. Okay, now let me reread the red text, making sure that nothing changes. That way. Yeah. I love that. I love that I added it. I'm so happy I got affiliate so that people can now play aha.wave. Okay. Huh. Okay. Great. Back to square one. I'm gonna be stuck on this locked room for ages. What's the trick here? AKA my theory was wrong. Okay. It's okay to move on for now? Okay. Okay, well, that's my current running theory, I guess. All right. Here. Let's talk about Cannon and Jessica's room. This one's a kicker. I can't wait to try and explain how Kumasawa and Nanjo were murked. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, second Twilight, Jessica and Cannon. Can I make this bigger? Okay, let's assume another locked room. Let me draw it. Same thing, same situation. Doors locked. There are 5 keys. Jessica has one of her own room key that's used to open her own door. Inside. Right? Okay. Yeah, this is Jessica's key to her room. That was found inside her room. Okay, right? There's only 5 master keys. No hidden doors. Cannon was killed in the room. Locked. Okay, same thing. Same thing. There are no hidden doors. Same thing. There are no hidden doors. I swear there was more red on this. I think there's more red in chapter 4. Or am I just wrong? Yeah, second game, second Twilight. Hold up. No. Like, we didn't talk about this, but any servant could have just done this locked room, right? They could have opened it. It just fully tracks that a servant did it. Boring answer, but like, what else? Right? Because there's nothing said to deny the servant theory. They locked the room. I can safely move on for this for now, because it wasn't denied by Lambda. I'll check it just in case, but I don't think it was denied by Lambda at the end. Okay, here. Let's move on, I guess. There's not much to say here. There's no red, because Lamb didn't deny it. The whole premise of Beatrice fighting against Battler in the second game was that, oh, a servant couldn't have done it, but her argument falls apart if a servant did do it, so that kind of just tracks that a servant did do it, or someone used a servant key, at the very least. Right? Okay, next room, I guess. Oh, should I do Nanjo and Kumasawa's, or should I do George and Shannon first? Because we saw Nanjo and Kumasawa get killed first, and then we saw George. I'll just go in order of the Twilight. So George, go to Shannon. They were found in Natsuki's room. Yeah. Whatever. All right, sorry. Okay, they were found in Natsuki's room. Goto's lying face down with stake in his chest. Corpse. George was along the wall. Shannon was slumped face down over a dresser with an open wound in her head and a stick next to it, having falling out. Okay, 3 earlier had been killed. Okay, this is the... Okay, Rosa did it. This is quite a simple explanation here. She was the only one who could have done it because she had all the keys. Right, that is what Battler said. Lambda, to my knowledge, didn't deny it either. She had all the master keys. If, though, this is somehow not the servants, it's definitely the same trick that was used in the Jessica room, because it's basically the same setup. The keys in it, the room keys in it, and it's the same setup where, oh, well, either the master keys were used, or there's some trick with the key inside the room, or with the same timeline of events, right? So, once again, safe to assume probably Rosa did it. It feels like kind of a cop-out answer, though, talking with just like, oh, well, the obvious culprit did the obvious thing and obviously locked the room. And it's not satisfying to me to do it for so many rooms. I guess we'll move on. Okay. Okay, let's do Nanjo Kumasawa here. They have their neck sliced. And they were discovered outside by Genji. Okay, so the locked room is they were killed in front of Nanjo and Kumasawa. Sorry, no, Nanjo and Kumasawa were killed in front of Genji, Shannon, and Goda, right? Then they left the room with the corpses still there, locked it, and went to get everyone. Then they all went to the room, unlocked it. The corpses were gone, and all the master keys were inside the room. Why couldn't they have used one of the door keys to unlock the room and then put it back? I don't track the logic here. It just says they're in the box. It could be the same case with the first Twilight where, oh, the key was used and then returned to the box. Okay, wait. Just repetition request. Was it possible to use the keys in the key box? Just a basic outline. Was it possible? Whether or not they were used different. Was it possible to use them? Like, that's the obvious answer is that they were used. I don't see any red exactly saying or denying that they were used. Man, I thought I was gonna solve a lot more rooms after I confidently solved Hideyoshi's and Ava's in the first game. Well, I solved, quote unquote. I don't know if it's the correct solution, but it tracked based on the red we got and based on what happened. But oh my gosh. Okay, from what I'm seeing, oh wait, right, it was done in the servant room. Oh no, the murder was carried out in the servant room. You're right. So all the keys that could have been used for the okay, so they locked the room behind them. Brother. I don't like this. Tweak out. Make me think too hard. I mean, that's kind of the point, but I would assume that the tricks that are being used are somewhat similar. Is it possible that Nanjo and Kumasawa weren't dead and that they then themselves unlocked the room? It's not confirmed in red that they were dead. They unlocked the room. Oh, okay. Because everyone just didn't see it. Okay. This hinges on the fact that they're not lying. Repetition request, the corpses were really left there and they really did lock the door. Because if they just are lying and that didn't happen. Like they could just be lying that they died. Oh. Okay, are Genji, Shannon, and Go to lying? That's the only thing that the entire locked room hinges on the fact that they aren't lying, that they locked the door and left the corpses there. If they really did leave the corpses there. Because then, yeah, there's no locked room there. It's just they left the corpses outside, then locked the door, and then something happened with them, right? Or they took the corpses outside. Some person there. There's no locked room there if they're lying. Because we physically didn't see them get murdered and then we leave the corpses there. Because there's a whole magical sequence, so it didn't exactly have to be that way. Okay. Safe to say that it was a lie in that case? Or is it some sort of spoiler? I don't even know what to say. Okay, I will assume they lied and then there's no locked room there. Because I don't know how else I'm supposed to explain this. What I am thinking about a lot is that there's always a window mentioned all the time. There's a window, at least a window in the room, and the locked door. Because they mention it every single time. It's like, oh no, the window can have been locked from the outside. And same with the door. It's like it feels important to some of the murders. Or, yeah, some at least. It's just painful for me. Yeah, rooms just have windows sometimes. That's true. Okay, I'll move on. I'll assume they lied because I can't think of anything here. Because okay, I forgot I have a little bit more red on this. Okay, let's look. Okay, here, second game. Yeah, they never mistakenly thought that another person was Canon. No one else can go by Canon's name. A different person can't claim that as their name. After the Master Keys came into Rose's control, they never left her hands, except when she lent one to unlock Natsuki's room. Okay. To Battler to unlock her. And then all the doors on Rokonjima, none has a crack through which a key can slip. Okay. I mean, here's a solution. Here's my recap of episode 2. Okay, first Twilight. It says in red, from the time Maria received her key to the instant Rosa unsealed the envelope, the key passed through no one's hands. So she could have unsealed the envelope, grabbed the key, locked the door, then sealed it again after she carried out the murder. Then, when she went to the servants, she also happened to remember that she had a key. She ran, unsealed the key again, locked the door. That's my running theory. Canon and Jessica. A servant did it. George, Goda, and Shannon. Rosa did it. They had both of those cases had master keys where they could have opened the door. Nanjun Kumasawa. Genji, Shannon, and Koda just lied. And yeah. They all feel like such cop-out answers. It actually pisses me off a little bit. Your blue truths are not entirely incompetent. That's an improvement. No weighted rubber tip equipping state gun that was used to ricochet off the walls and kill Ava and Hideyoshi in the second room. Finally. Yeah, I'm probably not fully right, but okay. Yeah, okay. But like, they've theoretically not been disproven. They are in the correct direction somewhat. They're not in the complete opposite direction. Okay. I will leave episode 2 at that. Depending on what I think about later or review, I might retry this. Or, yeah. Think of something else. Moving on to episode 3. There's not much to talk about here. Let me pull it up. That's episode 4. Okay. Episode 3. It might take a while to sync up to where OBS can actually read it and I can select it. So we might have to wait like a little while. It's not showing up on my window capture. Yeah, it's not small bombs. It's not small bombs. It's an improvement. It's no rubber tip stake equipping. Yeah, sorry, rubber tip equipping stake gun. So somewhat competent. Okay. Episode 3, First Twilight. Oh, this is the locked room chain. Yeah. Oh, this is much harder now. Because Kinzo is confirmed to be dead at the start of every chapter. So the Kinzo that we see in the incinerator isn't the one who carried this out. And now we have to think about this. Okay. Let me check OBS to see if it... Not yet. Oh, there you go. All right. The thing is, there's an exception of Kinzo. So master key and a room to the next, yeah, next room in the sequence. Okay, Shannon to Kumasawa to Goda to Genji to Kinzo to Cannon. Sorry, yeah. Okay, wait, what was the exception with Kinzo? I completely forgot. Cause there wasn't an envelope, or okay, Kinzo doesn't have a master key. Okay, but he still had the next room in the sequence. Okay. So it's, yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't give himself a master key. I actually thought about that yesterday. I'm like, wait, why doesn't Kinzo have a master key? That's actually so stupid. He's literally the head of the house. He just doesn't have one. uh I mean, there are only 5 master keys on this island. Oh well, yeah, it's because at this point in time, there's only, yeah. Okay, no, makes sense. Is the order that the rooms are in important? I would assume not, because they're just a loop. Sure, repetition request. Is the order of the rooms important? The rooms, okay, repetition requested in red. The rooms, okay. The order of the rooms is not important to the trick using this locked room. No comment. Okay, let me think while I wait. Let me look at the red. The order of the some rooms is order of some of the rooms. Or some rooms is irrelevant. Huh? Okay. I was hoping you guys would say no, it's completely irrelevant, don't worry about it, but this just makes it. Okay, let's think about this. VIP room. Okay, do I have to think about the layout of the mansion, about them being like on top of each other or anything, or is it just like the fact that the? Because I don't think that's important. That shouldn't be important. It's a separate important of the order. I'm assuming the boiler room is probably what you guys are talking about the order. Jeez. Oh boy. Okay. So assuming Kinzo is dead. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's a second room to the boiler room, is there not? Okay, yeah, thank you. The second door to the boiler room, that's where the other culprit ran off to. It's assumed that it works the same way the other doors to the boiler room works, right? It works in the same way where the master key works for both and the room key works for both, right? Because that one leads to the outside. I'm so stumped. Once again. Mansion boiler room. And you start thinking about the key specifically. Treat it as a normal door where someone can go in and go out without it being locked. Or like it's separate. Like it has no lock on it. Is that what you're saying? Well, in that case, there's no more locked room. But or like a normal door that can be locked and unlocked by the master key is what you're saying. Okay, let me read the red. Okay, they're all dead. Makes sense. All the doors. Okay. Furthermore, all the doors and windows on the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists. They're all dead. No one's hiding. They died instantly. Only the victims are inside the rooms. They weren't killed by traps. They didn't commit suicide. All 5 master keys were discovered, each in the pocket of one of the servants. The individual keys were found inside the envelopes alongside the corpses. All keys related to the linked closed rooms were locked inside the linked closed rooms. No key could be returned from outside the room using the crack of the door, crack of the window, vents, or any place of the sort. Okay. All of them had what appeared to be gunshot wounds that were fatal. Murdering them from outside the room would have been impossible. I shall say more with red. When the 5 other than Kinzo were killed, the killer was in the same room as them. But one of the murders was a homicide. Oh, wait. Does this have to... No, not in the 6 members, 6 evidence. Okay. Battler's theory that someone just, happened to pick up Shannon's key is false. I am building my theory on the basis that that is false. Yeah, okay. Now it says here in red, so. Yeah. Okay. It's definitely something about Kenzo. Okay, yeah. Then how do I solve Nanjo? Like, that was my theory, and then Battler repeated my theory, like, oh, wait, I actually solved, and then I saw Lambda cutting everything down. And then she didn't go past episode 2, which is quite sad for me, because I have no idea how well supposed to solve the rest without Lambda saying, no, Battler's theories are wrong. Okay, I'll stop worrying about episode 3. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Oh, I'm in episode 3. I mean, the other murders. This pisses me off. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let me draw it out. Maybe this will help. Room. Key inside envelope that corresponds to the next room. And there's a key, and then the master key is on the body here, right? It's just a chain of these. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. It's fine. I'll leave it there. Okay, this is gonna be Kenzo's room. That is the envelope. There's no key. Okay, and then same thing. So seriously stumping me. Repetition request. This diagram is correct. This is the correct diagram, theoretically, of the locked room. The box being the envelope and the black key being the master key, except in Kenzo's case here, where that is the envelope containing the next room's key. Okay, let me pull up the red. Yo. Okay. I might have to give up on this one. Oh, thank you. So it's perfect. Perfect recreation of the locked room. Um, it's definitely something to do with Kenzo's room. It's definitely something to do with Kenzo's room, because it stands out in the fact that it doesn't have a master key. Man, I need to finish this game. This is really intriguing to me. Oh my gosh. I thought this was gonna go a lot better after Ava and Hideyoshi's room, but apparently not. Like thinking about this key locks this door, and this key locks this door. No, because okay, let's think. The key. Okay, let's go backwards. So first, the person that was in this room went here. This is the finish point. So before they, whatever happened here, they went backwards with the key they have right here. They locked this door. Then from here, they locked this door. From here, they locked this door. From here, they locked this door. Oh, that is true. I did just realize. Okay. That's really weird. It should pick up my mouse. I guess I'll just draw. Yeah, it's probably an MS Paint here. So if they start, this is the finish point, right? Oh, I don't know what my cursor is on about. Yeah, it's gone now. Okay. Okay, so starting point or finish point. I'm guessing this is the last room to be locked. Okay. Let's think about it. Master keys are probably important. Okay, so we start here. Go backwards. Or no. Because the... Okay, I'm already getting confused in my own diagram. Oh my god. This might be a resignation from me. So assuming that this key is used to lock this door. It's just too much thinking. It wasn't a suicide. Okay. So the final culprit did something in Kinzo's room. Probably. I'm spending so much time on this room, and it's pissing me off because I can't even think of a single valid theory on it, and I can't even ask for hints because you guys said that it just blows it right wide open. Also, by the way, nothing has advanced. I've just been crashing out over this. I can't. Yeah. Okay, this is a repetition for request for absolutely something separate. And you guys might not be able to answer, which is fine. Okay, yeah. That in a bit. Okay, actually, you go first. Yeah. What's the reminder? I want to finish. I want to either give up on this locked room or continue trying to solve this locked room, like right now. A reminder would be good. I think what you're talking about is just what isn't mentioned in the red. It might be the reminder that you're talking about. Oh, right. The chapel is one of the rooms. I just realized. I That is completely true, right? Cannon was in the chapel. Yeah, right. So okay, Cannon's killed in the chapel and it's locked. Okay, wait. So there's two rooms. Okay, let's just say. Oh, and the Kinzo is after the chapel, right? So it's Kinzo. The key in Kinzo's room is what leads to the chapel. So let's say this key just does not exist. It doesn't matter. Well, it exists, but it doesn't matter to the locking of this door. That's really important because we have a master key that can't be used in the room it's trapped in. So how do I think about the order? Okay, I'm gonna do something boiler chapel, and this is how the keys correspond. And then keys, master keys for each. It's a course. It corresponds to the chapel and the boiler room. It's the interconnection between these two rooms that blows this room wide open. So, okay, order of events. Let's say close with key, close with key, close with key, close with key, close with key. This is the chapel. This master key. Or let's go the opposite way. How does this work though? Because the master key in the chapel has to end up in the chapel at the end. And so if you use, for the final lock, either the chapel or the... Well, the final locked room could possibly not be the chapel or the boiler room. So assuming that is the case... Okay, so room. So these three are unimportant. Boiler, chapel. Assume there is next key and master key. So for example, if the chapel is locked, no. Let's assume the first locked room is the boiler. So it's locked with this next key. So boiler room is now locked with the chapel's key. That won't work because we need to get the chapel's key. Or come on. Yeah, I might have it, but it's just the master key needs to end up in the chapel. This is pissing me off. I'm like right there. I have the theory. I just can't. It's the order. Well, it's not exactly the order. It's the order the keys are used in. Master key can't be used. So this key has to be used to close the chapel. And there has to be a master key locked inside the chapel. So maybe let's assume this. This room locks this room with a new key master key. Same thing. New key master key. New key master key. So these three rooms are open. So this key can stay inside here. For example, let's pull out a master key from here. I just want to try something. Master key is out. Okay. So then we throw a master key into the chapel. I can't do this. I'm right there. I just can't get the order. Because I'm sure it has to do with the master key locking and unlocking some sort of door. specifically the order the keys are used in that I. The important thing is that we don't need to leave a master key in the boiler room to continue. That's the big caveat here. So if we end off on the boiler room, I can't do this. I'm thinking of everything. I might generally have to move on. I'm right there. I'm right there. I just can't. Oh, I know what did it. It was the Schrodinger cat. He was in his 50-50 alive form. So he can't do this anymore. Okay, I'm moving on from this room. I resign. I resign. As tragic as it is, I'm right there. Major that I haven't figured out yet. Okay. Big thing is everything drawn in this diagram being boiler room has the next key. Chapel cannot have a master key used on it. Has a next key, has a master key, and then the rest, these key are in a chain like this. Is this everything that I need to have in the diagram? Repetition request. Is everything that I have in the diagram right now sufficient enough to solve the murder? Because I'm really curious. As long as, because I might just be forgetting a detail or something along those lines. We'll keep on racking your brains over this. I need this confirmation request immediately, because if I'm missing something on the diagram, I'll be looking over the red again. Or if it's just something that I'm not thinking about fully in regards to how the chain works, then huh. What do you mean? Okay. As per the room keys. So Shannon, she had a master key. And then they were used. They used the next keys to in ascending order. Open the keys based on the next keys, right? Ugh. Okay, yeah, as per the room keys discovered. I will be I can't. Bro, we're gonna be trying to solve this locked room for another 30 minutes, and we're just not gonna touch the rest of the mysteries that I'm supposedly supposed to be covering the stream. I've spent like 30-40 minutes just in this third game locked room because I'm like, I feel like I'm right there. Yes. But that doesn't have to be the case. It can be locked with a master key. Yeah, I know. It's just, how does said master key then end up in a locked room? Okay, I want to try something. I want to try redrawing, but I want to try redrawing this. Okay, so please bring up the wiki image. I need the wiki image like right now. Because like I couldn't find them. I didn't want to get spoilers. Can you? I could just always go back. I might just go back to my VOD. I can probably find it like right now. We are spending 5 years. Okay. Let's hope this isn't a phishing link. Okay. Okay. Okay, now assuming... Oh boy, that is so big. Yeah, okay. Okay, so... Assuming... How do we change color? Here. Boiler. The boiler room key corresponds to the chapel, right? Master... No. Here. Or is it the opposite way? Wait. The boiler room key corresponds to the chapel key. The thing is, you don't need to end up with a master key in the boiler room. That's a huge thing. That's what cracks this thing wide open. I just don't know how yet. I just need to think of the order correctly. Because you can use... Potentially, maybe you lock a key in the boiler room for whatever reason. Lock a master key in the boiler room. I don't know why that would work. Um... I'm spending like another 30 minutes on this locked room. I don't care. I might make this a two-parter. Although I can't even stream tomorrow. Okay, so master key can't lock the chapel room. Let's start drawing. Start with anyway, so we lock this room. We lock the boiler room key. So assuming you have a master key, you lock all 4 of these rooms. But for now, let's say you don't lock the boiler room key. Let's assume. So these now are locked, and you have the chapel key, the boiler room key, and a key that corresponds to the room after the chapel. Okay. Assuming we don't need this next key from the chapel for now. Let's just assume this. We lock the chapel with the next key and a master key inside, meaning we only have no, we can't do that because then we don't have any master keys anymore. The thing is, how do you just open the door from the inside? Like, how do you lock a door from the outside and have the key end up inside? Like, I understand the chain, understand that the murder chain would work if the person inside the chain is a murderer. I've been on this for 30 minutes. I still don't understand, even with all the master keys. All right, bro. I can't. Can't do this. Let me think about it this way. If I lock the boiler room with this next key and lock it with the master key I have from the chapel, that means, therefore, oh, never mind, because the chapel. Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about that major thing that I don't understand about. And I. Oh no, finish my thought. Okay. So if I lock the boiler room with the chapel's key and or without the chapel's with the chapel's key inside. For example, I have this next key open in the chapel and a master key from the chapel. Like all these rooms are locked right now, theoretically, right? So if I take out, so if I unlock, uh, so if I unlock this door, no, I have a master key. So it doesn't matter about this next key for now. I just don't have to think about it. I have a master key that won't work on the chapel that needs to end up in the boiler room. Ah! But how does it end up in the room? There's a big question mark in the middle. Something has to happen in between there. Okay. Boiler room key. Opens the chapel key. Opens the chapel. You open up the chapel. And with that key, close it. I don't want to give up on this now because I've thought about it for like 40 minutes straight. Oh, okay, please. Go ahead. I need it. Speed. I'm kind of home. My mom's kind of homeless. Speed. I need this. I need this, bro. That means the chapel key is locked. So if I unlock the boiler with my, and then we're back to where, because the chapel key is inside the boiler room. For example, we unlock the boiler room. Wait, if you lack any means to lock the chapel from the outside, what must that mean? That the chapel was locked from the inside? it means that the chapel key must have been inside the chapel at one point. What? Oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm right there. I'm thinking about it. It's okay. So the chapel. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's obvious. I think I've just been reading too far into it. No, yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you. The room can be locked from the inside. That's not that stupid. It's just like, that's just an obvious thing. Okay, so assuming the chapel was locked from the inside. But what does that give us? So if you then go inside and so after you've locked all these rooms, let's assume you don't have the chapel key. You don't have this. Don't have this. The locked room chain ends with you going inside the chapel and locking it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But then it was it confirmed in red that nobody was hiding? Yeah, yeah. Because that's not. Yeah, no one is hiding. Okay. Clearly, that's the answer. I'm locking it in. Gunshot wound, sudden gunshot wound disease. From canon. That's my answer. Oh, I solved the locked room. Thank you, Kuadorian. I can't do this. I'm like right there. Kind of. So, okay, let's go over this again. Like, there's no suicide. Okay, I'm gonna grab it. I have a snack right here. I'm gonna go eat this while I think. I've not eaten in like 2.5 hours, so. With Pocky sticks. I've been doing this locked room for like an hour. Okay, let me look at the red. Okay, it's decided I'm not playing Answers Arc until I somehow solve this. I will be thinking about this for like 5 years until I even start Answers Arc. Okay, now what if I assume a chain of murders? For example, Kinzo's already dead. Person A is killed by this person, is killed by this person, is killed by this person. So when you end up here, the last person, they go inside the room. So okay, what does that leave us with? I can't do this no more. This is pissing me off. Like, I know there's this one thing that I just kind of have to grasp to solve this, but okay, so you lock all the other rooms in this chain, then you have a master key, you have the next room's key, which, how would you use that? You have the master key, so there's no point. So if you end off on the chapel, I can't do this. I've done this like 3 million times. Because the chapel's the end. Like, that's... Okay, I'll be thinking about this. I will shelve it. Okay, now the rest is easy. Maria Rosa. Okay, let's clear this. Actually, no, I want to keep this open because I'll consult this later. Okay, that's episode 4. We're looking at episode 3. Okay. Ava did it because Hideyoshi vouched for her. This is Rudolph. Sorry, not Rudolph. What? Battler said the same thing. Rudolph, Kairi, Hideyoshi. Oh, by the way, interesting thing. I think I saw there was manga Red Truth that I should use for this. Because the manga says separate Red Truth that isn't said earlier for this murder by Ava, Beatrice. Like, I already know the spoiler because I saw it. So, I guess I'll just say it. Um, Ava didn't. In the manga, it says in Red Truth, Ava didn't kill Hideyoshi. Here's it's at the very bottom. Here, this is the manga, right here. Which just stumps me then. Okay, so this doesn't matter. Like, okay, this would have been, oh, simple. Ava kills the three of them again. But like this time, Hideyoshi, that manga Red Truth is what throws me off now. Okay, repetition requested. The manga Red Truth is true, and it is canon to the game. Okay. Of all the rooms I want to solve the one I was just working on. Oh, that took so long, man. Then I can't just choose a cop-out answer here. Okay. Important information. Just for the future. Because I want to start assuming based on this assumption. Is the order that we see the magic kills being carried out in, for example, Rudolph, then Kairi, then Hideyoshi, the same order the murders were carried out with, in the same way in the last time, in episode 4, where we saw them being carried out in a different way, in one order, but we only confirmed the order of one being canon, being the first to die in the 4th episode. Out of those last 6, sorry, out of those last 5. Because if not, it explains that probably either Rudolph or Kairi killed Hideyoshi, then Ava killed Rudolph and Kairi. Okay, great. That's what I thought, because I assumed that way until they confirmed the fact that canon was 9th. I'm like, oh, I thought the order of deaths in magic scenes was the order of deaths that actually happened. And so that made me start thinking, so okay, that's good. Simple to say that Kairi killed Hideyoshi from up above. Or sorry, here it says Ava used Rudolph's gun to remotely fire at Hideyoshi, so Rudolph shot Hideyoshi. And then Ava shot Rudolph and Kairi, because Kairi started resisting. That would explain what happened there. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that was the second thing that I was wondering. Like, yeah, obviously Kenzo's alive, so that means that the order must be in some way skewed. Okay. 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 Perfect. I will move on. George's disappearance isn't simple. Like someone, probably Ava, I guess, or someone else just locked the window after he left. That's not impossible. Because no one can confirm that nobody didn't. So devil's proof. Like someone probably ended up locking it. It's not a hard ask. No, it's kind of just like what happened there. It automatically makes me not like Ava because she shot Kyrie, my favorite character. This is quite tragic. Jokes, by the way, I like Ava as a character, but man, Kyrie has had nothing for her because the first I talked about this already, but first three episodes, everyone had like a focus. The three mothers had a very hard focus, and then in the third one, she just barely made it out of the first killings, and then she just died immediately. And same thing in the last episode, she didn't really have a focus on her. She just kind of died really quickly in succession. Like, yes, theoretically, she was the last to die out of the 13 murders, but then the rest. Okay, Natsuki Kraus. Ava was alone with Natsuki and Kraus at the bottom. It's not impossible to think that she could either drug them or done something and then strangled them so that they couldn't fight back. Like either spike their drinks that they had. Or wait. Yeah. Right? Okay, Nanjo's murder. Oh boy, let's talk about this one. My blue has been the same as Battler's blue. And then when he said it, I'm like, oh, that's probably the correct answer. And then I'm like, oh, Lambda's gonna break that correct answer in red. And then she stopped at the end of episode 2. And like, I'm unsure of whether to believe my Nanjo theory is correct at this point. I'm unsure. I don't even know what you guys could say about it without saying yes or no. So there's not much to say. Like I'll just say that that's what I think happened, and I still think that's what happened. I genuinely don't know who would do it. Maybe George. Let me check the episode 3 blue because I don't think we have anything on George. Oh, sorry, not episode 3 blue. I meant episode 3 red. But okay. It's hard to believe personally for me that Ava killed George. Being completely honest. Until you've seen the heart of the mystery. Okay. Uh okay. Yeah, I won't. I won't touch it then. For now. I'll just keep on thinking about it, but it's probably impossible, as you said. Okay, what's harder, in your opinion, the canon in the first episode or Nanjo off what we have right now? I don't know. Okay, well, that's it for this chapter, right? Nanjo is easier. I forgot what I said already. Or which one's harder. I genuinely forgot. I keep on forgetting which variation I say, whether it's easier or harder. So I always have to double check. I gotta start remembering what questions I ask and in which way I ask them. Okay. Let's talk about episode 4. Okay. Yeah, Nanjo's probably the hardest. A very similar murder to Nanjo is Natsuki's murder, actually. It's like 1-to-1 situation, right? It's 1-to-1 what that situation is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all the survivors either have alibis and the dead are all dead, and then some person shoots Natsuki with a gun. No trap, no nothing. It's just murder. And then same thing with Nanjo. All the survivors alibis are confirmed. All the dead's alibi, well, technically not confirmed right now, but now that I'm thinking about what you guys are talking about, that's probably not theory. I'll stick with it because I don't know. Okay, let's move to episode 4. I'm already 6 minutes past stream. The time I should be finished streaming. I haven't even started episode 6. Sorry, episode 4. What am I on about? And I haven't even talked about the epitaph or everything else or anything else. Who's the killer for what? Who is killed for what? Everyone. There are 50 different murder cases here. Okay. Kenzo arrived at the dining hall. The friends that we made along the way. Oh my, that scared me. Why that scared me? Okay, you literally told me yesterday that you're about to finish it. What do you mean? Uh, it's really funny that I've seen so many posts like I already told you this, Codorian, but like, what are the questions question arc is asking, and what are the answers arc is answering? I don't know. I've played UMINEKO twice and I still have no idea. It's so fun to me seeing these types of posts. Oh, interesting. Oh, MS Paint only opens up on my stream when I have MS Paint open. That's really weird. Okay. Let's talk about the first Twilight. Oh boy, there's actually so much to talk about here. Okay. This is okay, Killer, I have no idea. There's no locked room here, so there's not much I have to talk about. So they saw so much magic. How do you reason this out? Like, they saw magic. They all admitted to seeing the magical scenario play out. My entire crux for magic has not existed is that nobody has ever confirmed a magical scene outside of the magical scene itself. And then episode 4 happened, and it's like, okay, well, there you go. My entire theory just crumbled before my very eyes. So how do I explain this? Like, how do I explain the not how do I explain the murder? It's how do I explain what they saw? Half their heads were smashed. I don't know. Okay, back burner. We don't have to worry about this. Okay, this is my theory for how the survivors from the dining room massacre were carried to Kuadori in such a short amount of time. This entire situation was premeditated by whoever the murderer was. So he set the say it got close to what? To first Twilight here. Okay. Well, what I was saying. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I started thinking about it. I think I have a theory maybe, but we'll talk about that. Okay. How they were carried. This is premeditated. They set the guest room clock back however many time, like 10, 15 minutes, doesn't matter, some amount of time. Then when they killed the people and they drugged the other guys, let's just say they did that, it felt like they were falling, and then they woke up in Kuadorian. In that time, the watch synced. The watch was wound for example 15 minutes elapsed, and in those 15 minutes that everyone was carried to the Ecuadorian, their watches surpassed the wait I forgot how this fit in. So they wound the guest clock up, right? So for example, at 1 o'clock they faint and are carried. Then their watches are wound back the same amount of time that they were carried to Kuadorian. And this was synced earlier with the guest room house clocks. So that when the guest room clock is at 1:50 and in the physical room it's at 1 o'clock. In the room where they're drugged, it's 1 o'clock. Then 10 minutes elapses. So on their watches, it says 1:10, but in the guest room, it says 1 o'clock. And then the watches that they keep track of time is wound back 10 minutes, which is, so then the clocks sync. So that in the guest room, it's 1 o'clock, and in the prison, it's 1 o'clock. There you go. So that's my theory for how they got carried to Kuadorian. Like, no Red has disproved that yet, so like I'll be sticking with that unless something happens. Like it's probably like I talked about it. I don't know what you're talking. Hi, Lambda. How are you doing? You shot me in my foot 50 times, Lambda, with that last section of the Tea Party in episode 4. So many of my theories went kaput. Well, it's a love-hate relationship with UMINEKO. Like, I love the game, and the mystery is very well woven. Like, I can even tell. But I hate it because it's so confusing, and it gives me zero answers. Absolutely zero answers. It just gives me more questions. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I have this game figured out, and then it gives me more curveballs. And it's been like that the entire time. Like, I can't. Well, I am sure as heck enjoying UMINEKO, if you can call it that. I can already tell that there's a lot of setup happening in this questions arc, and it's all going to pay off really well in the answers arc. But like, I'm very impatient to get to those answers in the answers arc. Yeah. I was just stuck on the episode 3 first Twilight for nearly an hour, and then it didn't solve it. But apparently I got somewhat close. Episode 3. Uh Okay, here, let me actually rank the chapters that I have played. Okay, so worst, and this is kind of sad for me because this was like kind of chapter 4, not bad, just the worst overall. The ending sequence was really good. The beginning with Angie was way too slow. They could have trimmed it down. And the murders happened just maybe a bit too fast for my liking, because it was like one after the other, and that entire section's like, and we're done. It happened in the first day. Okay, then next, episode 2. I don't really have that much thoughts. It was good, just not as good as 1 and 3. And then I'm reading the port. I'm reading the UMINEKO project. I was basically crucified for starting to play the Steam version on, I don't even remember, it might have been Twitter, it might have been some forum. So I switched, and it was definitely the right choice. And then I'd say 1, and then 3 is my favorite, although it's really close with 1 because I really liked 1. Yeah, 100%. Okay, sorry, I didn't get back to theorizing because I'm already 17 minutes over. Okay, where were we? Oh, we were talking about... Hello. Okay. What is Saku on Switch? What are you guys on about? I'm so out of the loop here. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like fully. Saku and Umi Pro. Okay. Really? Okay. Oh yeah, apparently it does have a game. Interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. Is it region locked? Is it only like Japanese? Um, that's why. Because I don't think I've heard of it. I probably would have heard it by now because I have a lot of... I play a lot of visual novels on the Switch sometimes. Okay, yeah. Tracks. Okay. Yeah. Huh. I'm thinking about the second Twilight. No, wait, I didn't mean it. I will definitely enjoy UMINEKO. It's right up my alley. Oh, thank you. Hooray! Oh wait, I don't have alerts set up on this. I don't have follow alerts set up on this theorizing like scene. Whoopsies. Okay. Well, too late already. It should have played. We do have wave. I love wave. All right, I definitely will. How does Jessica... Okay, so what is the timeline of events for Jessica's murder? Um, oh my... okay. Why am I on edge? That actually scared me. That usually doesn't trigger me unless it's like the very end of the stream, like you got last time. I'm immune to jump scares. I don't know why that got me specifically right now. No, you're good. if I wasn't... Yeah, if the feature's there for you to use it, don't apologize. Okay, so Jessica said that she saw George, but you could only see the roof of that one room. Sorry. Yeah. That one roof. You know what I'm talking about. The way George would have died for Jessica to see him get killed would have been him standing on that roof. That makes sense, right? Do we not have a single red truth for this event? Actually? No, apparently we don't. Huh. That severely limits what it. Like, the obvious answer would be. I don't even know what the obvious answer would be anymore. Yeah, this is why I was not happy when I reviewed episode 4, because I was like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here to work with. Yeah, same thing. Our only red is Canon is dead among the 5 people in Kyrie's group. He was the first one. That's our only red for the specific riddles. Oh, and this, and Beatrice's final riddle. But okay, so I guess the theory could run that George was shot on the roof, or maybe he shot himself on the roof. I don't know, because we don't even have read that it was a homicide or a suicide, so we can't even say for sure. But he died on the roof of the room, so Jessica saw him. And okay, let's talk about Jessica's locked room, I guess, because that's the interesting part of this Twilight. So, assuming Jessica got a wound, supposedly to her head, before she called, somehow, it's safe to assume. Bro, why is George on the roof? Man, I don't know. He just likes it up there. Yeah, that's it. He likes the breeze. Maybe just felt short and wanted to see how it feels to be higher than what's George? I mean, George's actually pretty tall for everyone else at the conference, so I can't even say that. Bro, I don't know. Okay, well, with you just lock Jessica's room with the master key. Jessica receives a wound. She locks the door behind her, possibly because she did it before. Then she calls. Yeah, then she dies, and then she receives the half her head blown off wound, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably keep reading. um, Canon, Shannon, Kraus. The rest is kind of uninteresting, but yeah, I just I didn't expect to solve the game completely. I just wanted to see how I'd do it. Yeah, you talked about how episode 6 was apparently peak, but Okay, that's good. Okay, because I'm really, really, really interested about the room that I spent an hour. Do you think it's possible for me to solve it? Like, right now. Do you think it's possible for me? Because I really want to. Because I spent so long and I got pretty close, like fairly close without learning like the whole big gimmick that you guys are talking about. I still have no idea what that means. But, ah. I want to solve like at least one locked room. Like I guess I kind of quote unquote solved Ava and Hideyoshi's room. I don't know if I fully did that yet, but I'm not even close to getting right now. Okay, perfect. But it's that one thing. So I probably have to solve episode 2's chapel first, and then work on episode 3. Okay, so I should probably work on episode 2, but I'll get there later. Okay, there's not much to talk about here. Oh no, this Twilight. This go to Twilight. Huh. Um Battler passed by the storehouse and saw through the window that both go to. Okay. Yeah, I'll ignore that. I'll probably start thinking. If I will probably review it again, just out of sheer curiosity. Now here, Beatrice's final riddle. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Oh, do you guys think it's theoretically possible to solve Battler's sin? I'm curious because I have zero clue where to even start in the slightest. Because that's I have zero clue. I'm excited for episode 6 the most. It's possible. Yeah, I probably didn't catch it. That's the thing. Okay, well, I guess that's it for Red Truths because I don't even want to try here. I will kill you. There's no one other than you on this island. The only one alive is you. Nothing outside the island can interfere. You are alone, and of course I am not you. Yet I am here and I'm about to kill you. I'm not even gonna try that one. That seems Yeah, maybe, but I doubt it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, is Battler's? Oh no, because the sin happened 6 years ago, right? That was confirmed, right? Battler's sin was 6 years ago, like the same time he left the registry. Because I was considering maybe something he did on this island, but no, that's not what happened. It was something he did 6 years ago that set everything into motion. Okay, I guess that's it. What else do I need to talk about here? Okay, Beatrice's bottled letters. This could be like a Schrodinger's cat thing, because we have to think about how all the different scenarios of every episode tie into the fact that only one scenario could actually play out physically in a timeline. Like only one is true. So what the other results were written on the bottled letters. Like I've been thinking that maybe the island is some sort of like Schrodinger's cat box, and that each game is a different event that could have transpired inside the box. And when you open it, oh well, it's Ava's timeline. It's where Ava survived. That's the true one, and that's where Angie exists. And like the true after you open the box, that's the one timeline. And I don't know how the letters inside the bottle actually end up inside the bottle. Sorry, and how she realizes it, thinks about the other games and realizes what they are, whoever that Beatrice is. But money mailed to deceased relatives. I just have no clue. Zero. Like absolutely no clue what it could be about. Seriously. Oh, I'm just talking about other important mysteries that like are less important, but they exist, like Beatrice's bottled letters, like the rose, um, whatnot. The money. I was talking about the money. I have no idea. I don't even know where to start thinking about the money. I'm gonna be honest. Like I guess the next is that's not what I meant to do. The next is yeah. Why Shannon and some others, I don't remember who, remember events from previous episodes? They're like, oh, this time we survived. Oh, blah blah blah. This time this guy died, which is off putting the first few times I heard it. I think Shannon and Cannon are the only two that have confirmed saying that. Yeah, which is weird to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe they have some. It's 100% odd. Like maybe they have some sort of magical power that lets them see outside the box or like look inside. Bro, I have zero clue because it's definitely important. It means something. I just can't logically reason through it right now. I think I could possibly, but it definitely has something to do with the letters as well. But I can't make the connection right now. Okay, the sequence of numbers. is probably related to the epitaph. I think the 07151129. Like last stream, or not last stream, like when they were talking about the mailing the letters, I tried dividing. Yeah. The letters describe episode 1 and 2, because that's what the letters do. That's basically what that means. I don't know what that means though. They're definitely just describing episode 1 and episode 2, and the canon timeline what they're discovered is episode 3. What does that mean though? Why does that certain person? I guess maybe Shannon or Canon, the people who knew what's going on in the previous episodes, probably wrote that letter, which is weird. Once again. There's not much further than I think they described episode 1, episode 2, like possibly other Schrodinger's cat results. This is a really out there theory and it's probably wrong, but like maybe okay, let me word this theory correctly. Maybe this is really weird, but when you think of Schrodinger's cat, you think, oh, there are two options that this could come out. It could be either alive or dead, knowing that the different results that Schrodinger's cat box can produce. So maybe it's in the same way where Shannon and Cannon somehow know the different results, and maybe some other character who wrote the letters, or maybe it is Shannon and Cannon who wrote the letters. Maybe they do somehow know the results, the different results that could happen inside of the Schrodinger's cat box, and then they read about those results. Like I don't know. I don't know. Okay, now one of my favorite things to talk about, the rose. Now, there's many things that the rose could be. Now, one of my earlier theories was that magical things are kind of are created from a vessel, right? Like Ronave is created from Genji, and Sakataro is created from the plushie. And so the rose could be the Beatrice's counterpart for how Beatrice was created. Like she's the rose, but like that magical whoa form, which I think is wrong now, because I think the distinction between furniture being based on vessels and witches and other beings outside are also based on vessels is different. So I think those types of like physical non-furniture is separate, and they're not based on vessels, but most other furniture are based on vessels. So I kind of threw that theory away. Now I speculate that Rose could be the thing that Angie saw in that one scene, possibly, which is, there's not too much evidence to back that up. It's just possible because you're like, oh, is this magic? Because Maria probably wrote about it in her diary. It's not possible. Right? I still don't know fully how the rose disappeared from where it disappeared, though. Right? Like, anything else I could say about the rose? Oh, yeah, the rose probably isn't on the display case or whatever it's called, because most likely my running theory is that a second Sakataro was seen by Angie, which that could be the case. It seems to be leading me in that kind of direction. Like, what else could I say? I think I've quite mostly talked about everything I want to talk about. Oh, the numbers, right? I was talking about the numbers. I haven't gone to the epitaph. I was gonna try and solve and do the Ava sequence, like the Ava word game that she did, and rewatch the scene and try and solve the epitaph. But I've kind of gone over the time limit by almost like a whole hour. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours now. That's insane. Um, so maybe I'll do that separately some other time. Yeah, but definitely not like a 3 hour or like 4 hour stream, but maybe a separate thing. Okay, let me do a recap. So it's probably not possible to solve right now. Like I'll probably just mumble about it. But... yeah, let me do a recap. Um, oh, perfect. I'll call me Kin, so I'll take those odds. That was so tough, guys. Hold up. Okay, yeah, let me recap. Okay, these are my solutions for the game thus far. First Twilight, simple, anyone without an alibi could have done it. Second Twilight, let me actually draw it out. Doesn't really matter, but at the time, the door, the tour, at the time when Genji and Canon went. Oh, okay, perfect. So like it's possible, it's just probably not. Okay, so Ava's room. When Canon and Genji discovered it, they unlocked the door firsthand, and then both left. So the door was unlocked this time. In that time, the culprit came, drew the circle. The chain was somehow removed, either by the culprit or Ava, because there's no red truth denying that the chain could be removed with within arm's length. So in that time, either Ava removed the chain and the culprit killed Ava and Hideyoshi, or the culprit broke the chain, took off the chain himself, and then killed Ava and Hideyoshi. And then, because it's not stated in red otherwise, he redid the chain on the door and then left. And so he interacted with the chain because it hasn't been said otherwise. And there goes the locked room because it's not technically possible. There's not enough red for a lot of episode 1, so I don't know. So yeah, then they come back and they see the magic circle. Okay, then cannons I'm not even going to get into. 6th to 8th. I'm just going to ignore these because I just gave up on them. I gave up on episode 1, being completely honest. Okay, then episode 2. Chapel. Rosa resealed the envelope multiple times and based on that read. But that's definitely not the solution that's meant to be chosen. So meant to be solved, but that's my current solution. Is that Rosa came in, opened the envelope, locked the door, resealed it, and then grabbed it again. Great. Moving on. Canon Jessica. I forgot what I said here. Oh, yeah, servant did it. Here. George, go to Shannon. Rosa did it. Nanjo and Kumasawa. It was a lie. Oh, this is so cop out. Okay, great. Those are the answers. Very cool. Episode 3. First Twilight. Yeah, don't know. Second Twilight, Ava did it. Fourth to sixth, Rudolph shot Hideyoshi, and then Ava retaliated by shooting Rudolph and Kairi in some sort of way. That's the just George went out the window and was relocked. Yeah. Natsuki and Kraus, they were probably drugged by Ava and then shot. Or, yeah, because they need to be strangled, so they could have been drugged and then strangled. Oh, is that what Battler said in blue? It might have been. Nanjo's murder, the same as Battler's for now, but that's definitely the wrong answer for now. Okay. First Twilight here. Some random person to this. They transported the bodies by delaying the clocks in the guest house to match the time so that when you would change the time on the watches, the time that it took to carry the survivors afterwards would match up with the time on the guest house. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do it that way. Because it's not exactly an accident. It's not exactly suicide. So he just has gunshot-itis, which is what kills him. So that's what we'll say for episode 3. First Twilight for now. George and Jessica. Jessica and George were called out by Kairi and Shannon. Oh, here it's basically just George either gets killed by someone or shoots himself, and then Jessica locks the door behind her when she sustains the first wound, and then dies. Then she sustains the big head wound that she has. Mutilates half her head, and then someone uses a master key or a servant key to, master key to lock the door. Canon, Shannon, Kraus, Nanjo, Kairi. Oh, most of them make sense. Oh wait, I didn't even try to explain Kairi's gold thread flying through a keyhole, even though there's no keyhole. But there's not much to explain here. It's just I don't think I have enough for information right now to say this or try this yet. Next. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Canon. I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. Episode 4, there's not enough red to say whether or not how the locked rooms played out. Like that specific. Yeah, most of the rooms played out. There's not enough red. Not enough information, I don't think. You guys want to talk spoilers? And then, yeah, I don't even want to touch this here. Man, I love being left out of spoiler conversations for the sole purpose of not getting spoiled. Okay, well, I guess that's it for stream. That wraps up like my main thoughts on all the locked rooms and such. There's not much to talk about here. There's not much left. Those are my main locked room series, and the rest there's... I already talked about it earlier. Yeah, I guess that's it for stream. That was so long. I haven't had such a long stream in a while. Man, that third episode Twilight really ate up all of my time. It took like 5 years, and I got somewhat close, but before as close as I could possibly could without realizing whatever chapel thing there is. I guess that's it. I guess I'll end stream. That was actually really fun, personally. I love reasoning through things like this. I will probably make many more incredibly dumb theories as I continue streaming. Oh boy. I actually can't wait for Answers Arc. I think I start streaming on Sunday next time because I have to go away for the next 2 days for a personal thing, but I really can't wait to start playing Answers Arc. This game is interesting me like really deeply. Yeah, to some extent. I did what I could. Probably. Yeah. Well, I'm 1 follower away from 30. That's insane. I was like 25 followers a day ago. This is quite cool. Oh, out of sheer curiosity for myself, does it say? Oh yeah, I'll definitely look back at theories once I'm through each answer arc. What you mean each answer arc episode? Not there's not multiple answer arcs. Okay, I guess that'll be it for stream. That was really fun. Yeah, next stream Sunday, starting up answers arc this time. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. Let me actually end stream now. Okay. If you say so, man. I got there, kinda. Oh, my cat's screaming. Yeah, that's a sign. All right, see you next time. Sunday, I think, is the next time. Yeah, that was really fun. Like, genuinely. See you. Oh, thank you, by the way, Grimsruna, for the follow. Oh, perfect 30. See you guys.